Hey, you're welcome. It's good to see both of you. Happy day it is, right?
Well, but
We do. We get to
today,
share a mask-free, social distancing, violating hugs too. It's good.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't know if anyone can tell, but I am doing better. So I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, I was having. I turned 60 this year, and so I'm sharing a little bit with you guys, and I was having certain symptoms, and ultimately I think it was driven by high blood pressure, and I was having some high blood pressure issues, and I wasn't sure really what to do about that. It's obviously a little scary. And I was talking to different people, and then I got on the phone with Dr. Sherwood, and he said, Rob, you got to really take care of this. Number one, like, let me really work with you. But number two, go right to the ER. Get checked out, get them, and you'll have some peace of mind. And I did that, and it did help. And one of the reasons that I was able to do that, and I had the insight to do that, is because of the relationship we have and the trust that we have. Because, as we went through COVID, I lost a lot of trust in the medical system because I saw things that I didn't like. But I also learned that in emergency situations, that it is really important to see doctors, and they can
well,
be
to have a
very,
doctor
very
that you
effective.
trust.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned a key thing to start with. It's about relationships. One thing I know, Rob and Mel, is that there is an opportunity for healing and resolved in trustworthy relationships.
Yep.
The opportunity for a lack of healing is increased in untrustworthy relationships. So it's the opposite. So we're big on that. You guys are my friends, and I love you very much. And in that relationship, we can have difficult conversations. So if a person is not, for example, eating well, living well, being well, and all that, real love tells the truth, doesn't it? And I think the Bible says something like, faithful are the wounds of friends. And so the kisses of the enemy are deceitful, meaning enemies will tell you what you want to hear, but they don't care about you. They care about what you can do for them.
Right.
And so, like in the case of Rob or many people out there, Americans wise, COVID, et cetera, stress, our health has got away from us. It really has. And we see hypertension or high blood pressure. We see type 2 diabetes. We see habits that can generate negative health outcomes. And it just starts with redefining what behavior is. There's four things that we need to do better, that we all have control over. What we put in our mouth or what we eat, what we do with our body, what we do with our mind, how we handle stress, and then how we rest, how we sleep. So those are things we got to take care of. And obviously we can do testing and all that stuff, but we did work extensively with Rob on that. And as we all can see today, Rob, you look great, man. You're looking like that buff 60-year-old young man, I think. I love it.
So, one of the things, we talked, and you said, first we had a consultation. We did some blood work, which was pretty extensive, and that was all remote. I went to a local Quest lab, which happened to be like an eighth of a mile from my house, and you kind of oversaw that, and then you gave me we walked through a list of supplements that, and we also talked obviously about diet. Diet has always been okay for me, but because of the COVID and travel, it went down. The stress went up because we're traveling and we're dealing with some pretty tough issues. Fitness went down again because of lifestyle, and it originally broke down because we weren't able to go to the gym anymore. And at some point, you just kind of lose some of that motivation. So you gave me this whole list of things, and it's really powerful. I carry around that list. I was going to grab it, but no one could read it. But there's a lot of stuff, and it's become a kind of a routine, and I really feel it making a difference. Maybe you could talk a little bit about kind of the work you did to get me there, and then.
Well, I think, for the sake of being too advertising, I look right behind you and I see some Kingdom products back there. We did those for 100% reason.
Right.
Look, we got to make a living, fine, but you guys know us enough. This is sincere. I am sincere. I wear my feelings on my shirt sleeve. We did that for people, man. I wanted people to have a healthy cereal. Cereal is the worst thing that people can eat today. It's terrible. And Kingdom Crunch is absolutely phenomenal as far as health goes. It's got high protein, it's got great fats, medium chain triglycerides, and it's got no added sugar. Kingdom Fuel, we know, is non-perishable after 2 years, up to 2 years, non-opened, and that's a whole meal replacement that has organic greens, organic reds, organic pea protein, vitamins and minerals and fibers. And then we got, the bars, Kingdom Candy bars, and we got Kingdom Energy Extreme. We've got more stuff coming out. We've got Kingdom Collagen with a K. That's
great. I was going to ask about collagen.
Yeah, it's out now. We've got it with silicone in it. The first one that's got silicone in it, and silicone's the glue that holds collagen together. So, from a foodstuff standpoint, and we've got stuff for skin and hair now, believe it or not. From a foodstuff standpoint, we've got to find options out here, and so we provided those things. And you look at like nutrients, most people today, they don't know it. They take nutrients and throw mud at the wall and see what sticks, but 100% of the people we've tested over the last 20 years, guys, have been deficient in omega-3 fatty acids. It's not just buying fish oil. Right. But when you have tight vessels, i.e. hypertension going on, you've got to bring the inflammation down. And so we go on high-dose omega-3s. We bring in high-dose D. We bring in some things that can actually shrink down the inflammation in the vessels. We can actually cause your particles to get bigger so they won't get stuck and make plaque. So there's all kinds of things we did for Rob right there that are really improving not just the function, but they improve the lab, and they improve the confidence, they improve the body composition, and, well, it improves your life. Well, a lot of the energy drinks out here, and I won't name them obviously for obvious reasons, but they actually can cause death. They can cause high blood pressure elevation. They can cause that hyper caffeinated look that we all know, and students drink those like crazy, but this one is different. It does the same things with a different style of caffeine delivery at under 100 milligrams. And so this caffeine doesn't stimulate the body where you get the shakes.
Right.
But it stimulates the brain. It tweaks the brain a little bit where you have more alertness and more mental acuity. It has B vitamins that are not cheap B vitamins, but they're in a form that can be assimilated into the body. It has electrolytes, which can help us fuel the body. And it has something called ATP, which is actually produced in these organelles inside of our cells called the mitochondria. Right. And people that know a little bit of cellular biology out there know that without mitochondria producing energy, we die. And so ATP is that energy, and it's in that drink. And then in the extreme version, which is the non-packet version, we actually added 3 grams of creatine in it. Creatine is outstanding for muscles, and it's great because a lot of people don't know this, but from a biochemical standpoint, creatine will cause a process called methylation to be salvaged, which can help with depression. How about that? So this can stimulate the body to actually do more, be more, and become more. And it's not something that is unsafe. You could do 2, 3, 4 servings of that a day and not have anything but benefit.
Yeah.
What I love is that, I started with just the packets, which is Kingdom Energy. And it's great for traveling. You can always keep a bunch of these in your pocket or, your bag. But then when I started to get, as I worked in my workouts, as I got a little bit more, I said, hey, I really would like something to help me, keep that energy over that 30 or 45 minutes, an hour that I might work out. And the Extreme, the Kingdom Energy Extreme, I could definitely feel it because when I was young, I used to do all the supplements and creatine, but I'm not doing that bodybuilding muscle stuff now. Now it's really just trying to get back into a routine, and having you as a coach, if you will, in addition to a doctor, has made a difference for sure.
Clinicians, and I'm not talking about just myself, but look, I think that the principle there is you got to follow people that actually do what they're talking about, they're saying to do. And there's that's important. And my wife and I will do this. We do it with you. We do it. You've seen us on the road. I'm going to go to the gym, period.
Yes,
I'm going to eat right, period. And it's not because I'm shaming anybody else. It's because I have a responsibility to you as your friend, as a clinician. And I think I've got a responsibility to the world and my family and my wife,
Yes, 100%. So the crunch, awesome. Also I was thinking, we're having these hurricanes now, these extreme weather events that who knows how that's happening. I mean, I don't know, but it is serious. And so having extra, meal replacement and storable food in different forms, I think is super important in this environment, because really you just need water, and that's something that you can readily get. But having a really healthy alternative to prepper food. We never really did the prepper food because we always thought that wasn't, it didn't really map with us, because you get 20 years worth of stuff that you're going to sit in the closet, but this you can actually use and it'll last, and you can keep refreshing it. So we appreciate that.
And I have to say, because you were kind enough to send
We got vanilla and chocolate here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So collagen is a normal part of structure of all skin, bones, tissues, muscles. It's just part of who we are. And so it's not non-native, it is native. So when you bring it in, what happens is the little collagen peptides in our gut, they get disassembled. That's how the body works. And then when those disassembled parts get reassembled later on, they go back in and help the structures of your body. Now, this is a little tidbit tool that I've used. You mentioned collagen. We've got a little thing that we've been putting on the face that's called Kingdom Skin. Now, what it does, it's got two peptides. One is BPC 157 and one is GHK copper. Here's the kicker. GHK copper stimulates your body's own activity to restructure the collagen. So when you take the collagen inside and you use the GHK copper from the outside, those have a collision course on the inside to help tighten skin, smooth wrinkles, smooth defined lines, and guess what? They can help rebuild DNA. So the collagen that we have is interesting because it has silicone in it. Now, silicone is like the glue that holds it together. And so we put all this together to serve a purpose. I want people to have this life that is not distracted with sickness and disease and lack all the time, man. We've seen the media just pushes that. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I want to create the opposite and give people hope in the middle of what is deemed to be a hopeless situation.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate everything that you've done for us, and we appreciate, number one, the friendship and the guidance. But it's equally important. You help support our show. We travel together. We support each other on the road, and as we go through this journey, this battle every day. So it's critical. So number one, I would tell everyone, make sure you have that support structure around you, and make sure you have the tools, or you learn about the tools that can help support you. So, it's themelkshow.com partners page, Dr. Sherwood, or Sherwood.tv/Mel and they'll work with you on a lot of different things. Obviously, it supports the show, but most importantly, it supports your health, and you're always going to get truth and honesty here with Dr. Sherwood.
Yeah, adage is like, I heard that, sleep when I die, but no. If you don't sleep, you're going to die quicker. I can guarantee you that, because the sleep is the only time we can recover and rebuild, restore. During sleep, we see this brain drain or lymphatic drainage system, so our brain gets rewired and structured back together. There's basically 4 cycles of sleep we need to get through. They each take about an hour and a half, and then about a 15-minute window of transition between each one. And so that's where they get the 7 to 8 hours as a general rule.
Right.
So couple of sleep tips like sleep hygiene, right? What can you do backing up? Well, keeping in mind the screen time like this, you can get some blue blocker glasses. I have some right here. You can see them. They look kind of cool too, right? So I'll just leave them on right now because it's kind of neat. But you guys just turned Auburn on me. But the bottom line is the screen, your phone, your computer, your TV emits temperatures at 5,500 Kelvin, which is 3,000 or 2,000 degrees hotter Kelvin than the noonday sun. That stimulates cortisol, which will impair sleep. You got to turn the temperature down to probably mid 60s. That's the best sleep temperature to sleep in, 65 to 67. You want to get blackout curtains. Make sure that it's dark. Make sure that you have hearing proof. There's not a bunch of noise going on. And this is very important. Night lights. Night lights need to be yellow and red as opposed to blue and white. And then finally, make sure you get some your food needs to be in like 2 or 3 hours before bedtime. That's a big deal. From a
Right.
supplement standpoint, you've got your good old fashioned melatonin. You've got magnesium, which Rob knows well about, and there's other things like valerian, chamomile, things of that nature that really help a lot as well. So all those things can be added to help with sleep. We can. Last final word for me would be to share some hope. I wear these wristbands. You can see it right there. Maybe it says
Yeah.
hope,
Hope.
hope dealer, and we need to give away that instead of hopelessness. And if we just encourage someone, I echo what you said, Mel and Rob. Call somebody today and just tell them how much you care about them, and don't
Yeah.
expect anything back. Just do it one way.
I
Give
agree.
encouragement, receives encouragement back, and giving hope will fill you up with hope. So, the sun's going to come up tomorrow, and we're going to be all right. We just got to continue to give hope to other people.